Of course it doesn't surprise me that Adam Conover took money from a crypto biotech company. Lest we forget, this is a guy who has made his whole career about being inflammatory and constantly contradicting himself. What actually gets me here is how quickly people are jumping to forgive him. Like, his audience went almost overnight from holding him accountable to comforting him. I am reading comments and Reddit threads saying, honestly, I'm proud of him for owning it. Everybody makes mistakes. This is the best apology video ever. Meanwhile, I'm sitting over here thinking, wait a second, did we watch the same video? Like, that Adam Conover? Because the 23-minute video I saw, he'd never actually said, I'm sorry. Like, not even once. What we got instead was Adam calling himself dumb, making weird analogies about drinking cyanide and driving straight into traffic, and dumping a bunch of personal angst on his audience, all without taking any real responsibility. And in the middle of all of that, he thanks you. Thanks his audience for reminding him of his ethics, for holding him accountable. And you know what? No, I hate that. Oh my God, saying thank you for catching me is not the same thing as saying, I'm sorry I betrayed your trust. Saying thank you instead of sorry at all does not make you accountable. It makes you manipulative. It offloads the emotional work of your screw up onto your audience so that they get to feel good about helping you grow. Am I the crazy one for not wanting to pretend like this is some harmless mistake? He admits that he knew it was shady. He thought he could get away with it, that his audience would just see through the sponsorship and let it slide. And the thing is, if your ethics only kick in after your audience drags you back to them, then do you even have ethics? Because that's what it's starting to look like. I mean, Adam goes on all these podcasts, and whenever somebody pushes back on any of his beliefs or statements, he gets flustered and very defensive. And he says stuff like, well, I'm not a politician. Okay, no one's asking you to be. They're asking you what you believe. And the truth is, I don't think he knows. I think he's just gotten really good at repeating whatever it is his audience wants to hear. And what makes it worse is the timing, because people started calling him out over a month ago. And all that time, he waited and said nothing. Now, after being publicly dragged for weeks, he's decided that it's time to post this video. That is not growth, that is optics. He's not embarrassed about what he did, he's embarrassed that he got caught. And he spends a majority of the video just roasting WorldCoin, calling it a pyramid scheme, saying it's all razzle-dazzle and empty promises. Yeah, sure, we know, you knew, but you still scanned your eyeball for crypto coins. You cashed in a check and you still posted the ad and let it run for weeks. So every time you mention how shady they are and how horrible of a company they are and how they're all sellouts, you make your decision look a lot worse. As to why he did it, well, he gives every excuse under the sun. He says he was curious, he forgot how to say no, that he thought he was smarter than them. And honestly, it's just a buffet of justifications. You pick whichever one makes you feel less betrayed. And that curiosity excuse really kills me, because you know what you could have done if you were just curious? Attend the live stream, watch online, just like anybody else that would have been curious. You didn't need to scan your iris and drop a sponsored video in order to learn something. Look, I don't think Adam is a bad person or anything, but I do think that someone in his position with this little clarity and this much sway is dangerous. And you know what? Maybe that's why this hits such a nerve for me, because for the past 3 years, I've worked in Hollywood and artist representation for screenwriters. And during the 2023 writer's strike, I was unemployed for 8 months, and Adam was on the picket lines. He was on TV. He was all over Instagram rallying people with these war cries against AI with no actual solutions. And he since has only gotten louder about his hate for AI and technology and less informed about any of it. So no, I don't want him canceled either. I don't care if he wants to keep making videos platforming people like Ed Zitron or monetizing this weird liberal guilt feedback loop. I do care that he holds a leadership seat on the WGA committee, okay, because that's a billion-dollar labor fight. That seat belongs to somebody who's not willing to sell out their credibility, let alone their eyeballs, for some scam coin.